Hello students, welcome back. We have been learning from the chapter Life Processes. In the earlier chapter, we have studied about nutrition, we have studied about respiration. In this class, we will learn about transportation in human beings. We will look at the organ heart, which is very important, and the way it functions. Let's watch. Transportation in human beings. Blood recapitulation. Let us learn what we know about blood already. Let's have a recapitulation. Blood is a fluid connective tissue. It consists of a fluid medium called plasma. Oxygen is carried by the red blood cells. Plasma transports food, carbon dioxide, and nitrogenous wastes in dissolved form. Many other substances like salts are also transported by the blood. If blood has to reach in all the parts of the body, we will need a pumping organ to push blood around the body, a network of tubes to reach all the tissues, a setup to ensure that this network can be repaired if damaged. Let's take a look at each one of them. Human heart. This is human heart in action. Understanding the heart in detail. This is the diagram which you will usually see in your textbook. Students, you will have to practice this. So let's get to know the different parts of the heart, starting from left side. Aorta, pulmonary artery, pulmonary veins, left atrium, left ventricle, on the right side superior vena cava, right atrium, right ventricle, septum wall dividing the left and the right side of the heart, and inferior vena cava. You can see we have 4 different chambers in the heart: left atrium, left ventricle, right atrium, and right ventricle. Let's take a look at another diagram. Dear students, you know that heart is a pump which keeps pumping the blood. In this diagram, you can see there are 2 major colors. One is blue, another one is red. The blue color indicates deoxygenated blood. This deoxygenated blood is collected from all the parts of the body and it is pumped into the lungs for oxygenation. And the red color indicates oxygenated blood which is received from the lungs and pumped back into the body. We have learnt earlier that heart is a muscular organ as big as our fist. Our heart has different chambers as blood transports both oxygen and carbon dioxide. Different chambers prevent the oxygen-rich blood from mixing with the blood containing carbon dioxide. Take a look at this diagram. Carbon dioxide-rich blood reach lungs to remove CO2 from the body. The blue color indicates carbon dioxide-rich blood. It's pumped into the lungs. And oxygen-rich blood must reach the heart to be pumped back into the body. The red color here indicates oxygen-rich blood. You can observe that the blood moves from the heart to the lungs, gets oxygenated and returns back to the heart to be pumped back into the body. Oxygen-rich blood from lungs enters the left side of the heart, composed of the left atrium and left ventricle, and is pumped through the aorta into the body. Since ventricles have to pump blood into various organs, they have thicker muscular walls than the atria. Valves ensure that blood does not flow backwards. When the atria or ventricles contract, there are 4 valves. First one, pulmonary valve. Second one, aortic valve. Third one, tricuspid valve. And the fourth one, mitral valve. You can observe all these valves in the diagram. Every heart relaxes and contracts. Contraction is called systole. Relaxing is called diastole. Sometimes this is pronounced as systole and diastole as well. Oxygen enters the blood in the lungs. The separation of the right side and left side of the heart is useful to keep oxygenated and deoxygenated blood from mixing. Such separation allows a highly efficient supply of oxygen to the body. This is very useful in mammals who need energy to maintain body temperature. Let's talk about circulatory system. There are 2 types. One is single circulatory system. Another one is a double circulatory system. First, let's talk about single circulatory system. In single circulatory system, the blood will pass through the heart to gills of a fish only once. Here, only one cardiac cycle is completed. Therefore, it is called as single circulation. For example, single circulation is mainly seen in birds, fish, and reptiles. The heart, you can see here the blood passes through the heart only once in a fish. Looking at this diagram again, talking about double circulatory system, the heart is the main organ for blood circulation. The blood follows 2 routes. Number one for the oxygenated blood, and second, the other for deoxygenated blood. Therefore, we call it as double circulatory system. The majority of the mammals, including humans, have double circulatory system. On the left side, you can see the blue color indicates deoxygenated blood. On the right side of the diagram, you can see the red color indicates oxygenated blood. Let's talk about the vessels, the blood vessels. Arteries are the blood vessels that carry blood away from the heart to various organs of the body. The blood emerges from the heart under high pressure. The arteries have thick walls which are elastic. Veins collect the blood from different organs and bring it back to the heart. They do not need thick walls because the blood is no longer under pressure. On reaching an organ or tissue, the artery divides into smaller and smaller vessels to bring the blood in contact with all the individual cells. The smallest vessels have walls which are 1 cell thick and are called capillaries. The capillaries then join together to form veins that convey the blood away from the organ or tissue. Let's talk about platelets now. If in case there is an accident causing injury, there would be blood loss. We have experienced this ourselves so many times, and we have witnessed this happen in others also. If there is a cut on a finger or on a hand, we see that the blood oozes out. But in some time, the blood stops. What if it doesn't stop? The loss of blood leakage would lead to a loss of pressure, which would reduce the efficiency of the pumping system. On your right side is a platelet structure. To avoid this, the blood has platelet cells which circulate around the body and plug these leaks by helping to clot the blood at these points of injury. Lymph. Lymph is another type of fluid also involved in transportation. It is similar to the plasma of blood. It is colorless and contains less protein. Lymph carries digested and absorbed fat from intestine and drains excess fluid from extracellular space back into the blood. Thank you.